the saying, strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. Bad times create strong men. We adapt to our situation. If it doesn't kill us, the situation makes us much stronger. I've been in a situation where it made me do what I had to do to get stronger. And every single time I came out much better. We have to look at situations as an adaptation, like an animal in the wild. And the harder that environment is to adapt to, the stronger the animal gets. I can see it in myself. I've been in situations where I had to become very austere and very disciplined to overcome it. And then it just became part of my life. Very interesting. Adaptation. If you had an easy life, you weren't forced to adapt like that. You could just be a couch potato and snack all day and born with a silver spoon, everything's given to you. You stay weak. These situations make you stronger. So thank God for them. The entire Western world was about freedom. It started with the Magna Carta, and then they came to America and our Constitution, protecting our rights, freedom. But the Western world is failing. Great European cities, London, Paris, all of them throughout Europe are filled with graffiti. Every inch is filled with graffiti. It's from immigrants from other countries taking over. Rape is everywhere. I've heard that in London, you can't wear a watch or a piece of jewelry, it'll be stolen. You have to have your purse hooked to your body because they'll come by in motorbikes and snatch it. It's just the way it is. And the police won't do anything. European Union is filled with leftist communists, and they don't do anything about it. Still, the boats come in, the immigrants come in. They don't respect Western culture, and it is filled with crime, and they're let out the same day, and they do it again. I'm just speaking the truth. But in London, in England, if you speak the truth, you will go to jail. You will be labeled a terrorist in England if you speak like this. We're being taken over. Our ways, based on rights of the individual, are being just collapsed, smothered out. They don't mean anything. And we're losing those rights. Now Trump has stopped all immigration here, all illegal immigration. He's closed the borders. The rest of the world hasn't. The European traditions, which are so great, and the beautiful cities, and it was Christian, gone. And soon it will be gone forever. That's just the way it is. And beyond that, our own society is collapsing. Look at the cities. They're filled with crime. Look at the homelessness. Everywhere you look, people are homeless. And there's going to be far more foreclosures, I read last night, like double what it is now. People suddenly lose their home, and nothing is so sad. When I think of the elderly losing their home, and children and pets losing their home, it's what's happening. We are collapsing. And in the midst of that, people's personalities have collapsed because morality is gone. Depravity has taken over. Depravity is seen as superior, and morality is seen as old-fashioned and despicable. Controlling. In marriages, if a man wants a decent wife, a moral wife who stays home, he's overly controlling. He's hated. Women are looking around. They have all these options on the internet of other men. And divorce is everywhere. Women, about 75% of the time, are initiating it. If they're educated, 95% of the time. Women's lib has not helped women. The freedom that we want is in the marriage. It's like coming behind a wall. I was not free until I was married. Up until that time, I was pestered by people constantly, men and women, just to... You have to be with a significant other that you've chosen and they protect you. Marriage is freedom for a woman. Not being married was the worst captivity because they know you're not protected, so they just try to take you over. That's the situation as it is. The old times are gone. Our freedoms are diminishing. You can't say a thing in England, you'll be a terrorist and put in jail. It doesn't matter if you've been raped, robbed, or whatever. You can't say anything. They don't think the same way about the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, as we do. Beautiful Europe, beautiful cities, gorgeous cities, gone. Every square inch filled with graffiti. Every square inch of the ground filled with trash. Ugly trash and crime everywhere. Men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. Bad times create strong men. But where are the strong men being created from this horrible situation of the decline of Western civilization? It's almost insurmountable. It produced a Trump, but I don't know how long that can last. He's so hated and despised. The Democrats love open borders. They love crime-filled cities. And to try to stop that is fascistic. How ridiculous is that? White liberal women donning hijabs. They want to be Muslim. But they would have no identity at all. They don't know what's going on. People don't know what they're fighting for. They just want to fight for something, but they're so uneducated about what's happening. It's really disgusting. Liberals want to demolish everything in order to rebuild things in their eyes. Liberals only see what they want to see, how they want the world to be. Conservatives see what is. And what is terrible. Oh, but that's being mean. Oh, that's horrible to say something like that, isn't it? You must see what is in order to fix it. The same Democrats that are against ICE and that are against guarding our borders, 10, 20 years ago, they were all for it. The very same people, the Clintons, Joe Biden, all of them were for closing the borders. But now that it's fashionable to want open borders, everybody's switched. Can't anybody see that? They don't have stable views. They're going along with the herd. And so is everybody else. And you don't dare state the truth, or you'll be persecuted for it. That is social psychology. That is social hypnotism. Obama, he was the biggest deporter ever. He deported far more than Trump is. He was for closing the borders. But now, all the leftists, they want open borders. Most of the reason for the homeless crisis is because of immigration. And the messed up cities with so much crime. Uncontrolled immigration. They're unvetted. It seems so obvious. And it was obvious to the Democrats just 10 years ago. They are lemmings going off a cliff. But basically, It's world communism. They want to replace us. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Baloney. They want to make everybody alike. They want to bring in everybody from the Middle East and Africa and everybody alike so it can be world communism. America was the last bastion against that stuff. We want just us. We want our values of freedom and Christianity. But oh no, that's bad. We can't do that. In prisons or anywhere else, racial groups hang together. You got blacks, Mexicans, whites, Indians, they go in their own groups. That's natural, that's accepted. But if whites do it, oh, that's bad. If whites try to establish their own community, there's one in Arkansas. They're Christians, they just want their own thing. And they're labeled as terrorists. But if other cultures and races do it, it's okay. There's a conspiracy. And they want everything debunked so they can reconstruct their own view. But it will be a hellish view because we're turning into hell already. And you can see it in people's attitudes. They're just weird. They're angry. They're lost. They're like zombies. Everything is collapsing. Like, you say hello to somebody, how are you today? What do you want, you know? They think you're trying to, there's not the same civility that there was before. People are very suspicious of each other. We are declining very fast. And with that, mental illness. Look at the people, homeless people on the streets, they're mentally ill. And who wouldn't be living out in the elements like that? Having to fight crime all around you. There is nothing sadder than losing your home. It's my biggest fear, is losing the home. The home is protection from the elements and from other people. Mental illness comes from this, and you can see it everywhere. Hang on to your head. See what's happening. Get behind a fence. Fence up. If not, in reality, mentally, fence up. Stay apart from it. Don't get involved with people who think like that. You have a right to borders. You have a right to boundaries in your own life. You have a right to be alone if you want. You have a right to speak the truth. You have a right to associate who you want to. Don't give in to this. And you have a right to worship God. There is a lot of persecution of Christians. People just driving their Jeep through the front doors of a church and mowing people down. This happened a week ago. It happened about a month ago to a Catholic church, just mowing children down. There's a terrible persecution of Christians. Realize this is happening. It's happening in daily discourse. You have to stand up and speak the truth anyway. You ask, what should I do? Just die? No. Release obstruction. You're obstructed. You want to come to the fore and save a dying nation. Save the West. You do that through releasing obstruction in you first. People, sin, and food. Work on those 3 obstructions. Then you become powerful. Then you can do something for your culture, which is dying. This is the time for good men to come forth. But if they're all screwed up, falling into their bag, stuck in sick relationships, eating at fast food restaurants 3 times a day and thinking it's no big thing, you're not going to make it. There's too much to overcome. You've been screwed up in childhood, perhaps alcoholism in the family, battering wives, or whatever it is. When you've been screwed up, it affects your ability to form relationships and to trust. It's extremely hard. Probably one of the hardest things. It's ingrained not to trust. You can't trust your environment as a child. That's the first maladaptation. It's inscripted in your DNA not to trust. You grow up that way. Forming good relationships is really hard, but I recommend finding that one person and marrying. That becomes a wall. That becomes your true freedom. Somebody you trust. You can mistrust the rest of the world, but that one person to work things out in your life and to perfect them and to come behind a wall. I want that wall. I don't know what I would do without it. I want that wall so I can just be myself. Stress is the biggest killer. Autoimmune issues, digestive disorders, all go together. Stress, cortisol, body bloats up, doesn't digest anything. Constipation sets in. It's like a rock on your body. And it's a horrible feeling. Digestive issues go with stress. Autoimmune issues. Suddenly you're sick all the time. I'm sick around plastics. I'm sick around paved roads, tires, cars, people's perfumes, carpets, vinyl. Everything makes me sick. Autoimmune issues. I was born with it because I was born in stress. In an alcoholic family. May they rest in peace. They stopped drinking before their death. Okay. But it's true. Autoimmune. I was sick all the time. I couldn't go on vacations, family vacations. They had to drop me off on the farm. I couldn't go anywhere. I was always sick. In cars, planes, boats, trains. Nothing. Going in strange environments. Always sick. Autoimmune disorders come from stress. And maybe you have that. And maybe you got on the medical treadmill thinking, well, the doctor can help me. The doctor doesn't know anything about multiple chemical sensitivities, MCS, which is also called environmental illness. Very few doctors know anything about that. They're going to label it something else and put you on drugs. And then you got a secondary problem. Those drugs are killers. Those drugs put you in an alternate reality. I would never trust that. Don't get into drugs. Just release your obstruction and the stress. You've got to get rid of the stress any way you can. They stress over their looks. That's the whole thing, their looks. Not to thinking critically. Think with precision. Have a resilient inner life. It's an inner journey to enlightenment and discovering yourself. And insofar as you come to yourself, you come to God. And insofar as you come to God, you come to yourself. A resilient inner life. And speak precisely. Speak with clarity. Get off this thing about your looks. It's nice to look nice and whatever. Sure, we want to look nice. But get off of this preoccupation with the superficial and the outer and attention getting. That's the main thing of modern women, to get attention. Get off of that and get the attention of God. That's what you need, is God's attention. He's the head honcho. He created everything. He will give you everything. People won't. They'll just be jealous. Get off that whole thing and just try to get the attention of God by prayer, supplication, and doing the right thing. He will tell you what to do and do it, and your life will progress. Be solid, grounded, and clear. Not begging for attention. That's passé. Who do you want attention from? The whole culture's going down to hell. Just be grounded in yourself. Save yourself from this blight. Don't get involved with people who are crazy just to get attention. The culture's imploding. I'm all for relocating out in the country if you can. Country life. There's nothing better. Just being with animals and the people you've chosen and going to church on Sundays and just returning to our old routines, doing our housekeeping on Saturdays and routine. The country life if you can. Escape the cities. Escape the suburbs. Everything is imploding. Much of my food plan is for those who really can't digest anymore. It brings us down too much. I tried the rice. No. Bloating, gas, just joints all messed up, feeling like a piece of wood, all bloated up. I guess I am starch sensitive. This is why I've adopted a plan of fruit and fruit fats, not the starch. I tried wheat. Oh, messed me up. Yes, rice is a fruit, botanically. Yes, wheat is a fruit, botanically. Okay, I tried it. It messed me up. It may be fine for you, but I've returned to the smoothie and the almond butter and nuts and seeds at my desk, and corn tortillas are okay. That's low FODMAPs. And salsa, great. Maybe a little bean, low-fat refried bean dip. That's, if you have just a little, that's low FODMAPs. It won't create these problems of bad digestion. Find what works for you, but keep it basically fruit. And then fast for the day. That's your biggest way to stand strong. Don't fall into your bag. Food is number 3 obstruction. The first one is people. Return to the theory. All disease is obstruction. All recovery is elimination. All success is attraction, once having eliminated. People, habit or sin, and food. Dissolve your obstruction and you will snap to your goal waiting in the wing. It's a scientific discovery, a theory. All discoveries are based on a formula, and that is it. Dissolve your obstruction and you will snap to your goal. It's the opposing force waiting for you, but you're obstructed. Most people are obstructed, number 1, with people in their life. They're holding you down. People hold each other down. And just as important is the sin in their life. We're all sinners. We all have bad habits. They are maladaptive coping devices we use to adapt to a crazy, imploding world where relationships are no longer permanent, they're transitory. You can't trust anybody. People come and go. The news is not news anymore. It's just journalism, brainwashing. It's hard to know what to trust. And so we fall into our bag, usually food. Stop all that. Get strong. Use your obstructions to get strong and overcome. Now lead the culture back to clarity.